What up, y'all? It's Dom, and today we're looking at the soon-to-be anticipated release of the DJI Osmo Action 2. The leaks, the rumors, the specs, what we hope to see, and what we hope they change from the Osmo Action 1. Let's get into it. First of all, thanks to my boy Peter McKinnon, we officially know that the product is out there. Reviewers have them in their hands. We do know what it looks like. We do know the features that are most likely going to be announced next week when DJI announces the camera. First of all, it's a huge design upgrade from the DJI Osmo Action 1 because now we have a modular design similar to the Insta360 camera. It looks like a small subwoofer. We have the camera just with a lens and the camera on the front, and then on the back, the entire back is a screen, and it's smaller, more square looking, and just an overall lighter, smaller package than the Osmo Action 1. It goes away from that like GoPro action camera size and feel and goes into this new realm of modular cameras. Now, I don't know how I feel about this modular type design. Let me get into why. From the rumors, what I'm seeing is a magnetic type design where you can add accessories and add little modules on to the camera as a whole. Now, we saw this with the Insta360, but I think Insta360 is doing it a lot better than what we're gonna see from DJI, and here's why. In the Insta360, you have the main brain of the camera as one module, and then you have the lens and sensor as other modules. So you could switch out the lens, get a different camera, get a different sensor, a bigger 1-inch sensor for vloggers. You could add things like that, and you could really have a lot of control and flexibility, and then keep the brains of the camera intact. Whereas on the new DJI Osmo Action 2, you're stuck. You have one sensor, you have one camera, and then you can add accessories on to that main portion of the camera. Similar like the GoPro, they had modular accessories that you can add on. Don't like this design as much because you're really stuck with that one camera. It's a fixed, rumored 2.8 aperture, and it's a fixed sensor, although it's gonna be a bigger sensor than what's in the Osmo Action 1, but you can't change that. I would love to see the flexibility to maybe get a different module to have a 1-inch sensor for stills, or maybe change a lens out and have a f1.4 aperture, basically just bolt-on accessories. I really hope they do a better job than the modular design coming out of GoPro, because GoPro was a real big fail. They really hyped it up when they brought out their GoPro, I think it was the Hero 9, and you had this vlogging module that you can add on with a little shotgun mic and a front-facing screen and all these different things. The thing never freaking came out with it. It dragged on forever, and then when it did came out, it sucked. The mic sucked, the accessories were bad, they were overpriced, and I really hope DJI doesn't go that route. Now, from the leaked modules we only see 2 leaked right now. I'm sure they're gonna come out with more, but one is a front-facing screen, which we already had built in on the DJI Osmo Action 1, and the other one is an external battery. Now, I do like the leaked specs from the battery. That is really nice, because it's always a complaint of battery life on action cameras. From the rumors, it goes from 52 minutes of runtime on the Osmo Action 2 to 192 minutes with that built-in battery module. That's a big jump. Don't know if that's shooting like 4K with Rocksteady on. I don't know the specs behind that, but 192 minutes, that's a lot more. That's a game changer in comparison to any other action camera on the market right now. If we have the front-facing screen module attached to it, does that 52 minutes of runtime now decrease because now that battery is also powering a whole other module and screen? Does that 52 jump down to like a 38 or 40 minutes of runtime? I don't know. I could see that being problematic down the road though. For my vlogging crew out there, I would of course love to see a vlogging module, maybe with some really good built-in onboard mics, a front-facing screen, and a nice little vlogging setup, because I released a video not really thinking about it, but I've used my Osmo Action 1 for vlogging, and I released a video with some accessories that I bolted onto it and got a pretty good response. I didn't realize there were that many of you looking to vlog on a little action camera. You could check that video out here, but I think the new DJI Osmo Action 2, if set up with the right vlogging setup, could see a pretty good sales number, because I think there's a lot of vloggers out there that would love to see a vlogging module. All right, now let's talk about video quality. What is most important? The actual quality that's coming out of this thing. And of course, it's gonna be better than the Osmo Action 1. This is a bit dated now, and I can notice that the video isn't so good to today's standards. Now, the Osmo Action 2, they are throwing a bigger sensor in here, so I already know the video quality is gonna be better. They also have said they're gonna have better proprietary Rocksteady stabilization. The biggest upgrade, I think, and one thing that is definitely worth the upgrade to buy it, is the auto horizon leveling. That was game changing when I tested that out in the GoPros, because that was my one thing that drove me crazy with action cameras. My little OCD brain could not handle if the horizons were off and I'm getting a crooked video that I can't change in post. oh, it would just drive me crazy. I'm sure we're also gonna see better dynamic range, better low light capabilities with the increased processing power and a little bit bigger sensor. I do love that DJI went away from going like the 5.6K 60 frames per second that GoPro did, because GoPro's really screwing up right now. Their brand has made some big mistakes, but the 5.6K is a big mistake, and I'll tell you why. GoPro's had some overheating issues with that 5.6K 60 frames per second. And in this small unit, heat dissipation can be really crucial because there's not much to it. It's all shoved together. And if something's getting really hot, the camera can't handle that well. And there's no venting, there's no screen to pull away from like a DSLR. It's all built in, so it can overheat really easily. And GoPro's having that issue, and they're having auto shut off issues. And I'll say this, the one purpose of these action cameras is to be on the top of a mountain, hit record, blast down the mountain, and then stop recording and check the camera. You're not checking it in the middle of your activity. So if it's having overheating and auto shut-off issues, it defeats the entire purpose of an action camera. But I love that DJI is staying in their lane, staying with 4K, and just making it a really high quality 4K. I'm seeing mixed reports on is it gonna be 4K 60 or 4K 120. Either way, I'm just hoping for nice, buttery, smooth, slow motion in 4K, and I'm happy with that. Now let's talk about mounting systems. I love that DJI is going to a magnetic mounting system similar to the tiny Insta360. I think it's a fantastic idea, and with the implementation of magnetic mounting points and magnetic accessories coming from Apple and the newer iPhones, I really can see the power and abilities of magnets in technology, and I love that DJI is going that way. It's so much faster and more convenient to pull the camera off a magnetic device, put it on another one, and then you're off to the races. Saves you time, much more easy to get your shot. Now, touching on that, is the module design of the camera magnetic base, and is it going to be weather sealed, or are we going to lose our underwater capability and weather sealing when we add an external battery on or add that front facing screen on? Because that would be a huge downgrade from the original Osmo Action. If we lose the weather sealing and underwater capabilities, I'd rather have the original Osmo with the front facing screen where I can shoot myself snorkeling or scuba diving underwater. I don't know how they're going to be able to achieve that, but I really hope that I'm just not seeing it or not intelligent enough to see that they're going to keep their weather sealing and waterproof. And if they did 192 minutes of underwater capabilities, that would be game changing for so many underwater sports and water sports people. But in summation, I want to talk about value, price, and differentiating factors. Why are you going to buy this Osmo Action 2? What did they do as a company over the last 3 freaking years of not coming out with another action camera to differentiate it from the field? And I just don't know if they did enough. When it comes to smooth footage, smooth, good-looking 4K footage, GoPro does that really well. They have the best stabilization on the market, game-changing horizon leveling. They're first to the industry with that, and they just do that really well already, and they have really good 4K footage. So do I think the Osmo Action 2 is going to be that much better video quality and better stabilization than GoPro? No, I do not. So it's not a differentiating factor there. The modulation and adding things on and flexibility there, Insta360 is better at that, so I think it's not differentiating there. I do think DJI did some things right. Number one, everybody loved the Hero Session size and weight, so bring a smaller, more compact design, but with good video features. That is a win there. The magnetic design, faster, just better overall. So that is a win. Horizon leveling, that is huge. And 192 minutes of runtime, that's going to be a game changer for a lot of people. But, and here's a big but, and I think this is going to be the tipping point for the DJI Osmo Action 2. We're seeing rumored price points at $400 to $500. That's steep. That's a lot for action cameras. Now, I know we've seen some GoPros at $500, but for the most part, GoPros are more in that $350 to $400 range. The original Osmo Action, I think, was $300 to $349 if I wasn't mistaken. Now, I get it. That's the price point. That's what we can learn to expect. But how much are these modular accessories going to be? Because now you don't have a front-facing camera, so you're going to have to buy that separate. What is that going to come in at? $100, $150 extra? What's this extra battery going to come in at? The battery module, is that going to come in another $79, $100? And are we going to be able to just buy secondary batteries that you can replace in the main body of the camera? I don't know. What are those going to come in at? Are those going to be like the cheap little $40, $50? Or are we going to have to spring for this module $100 battery on the side? Now we're looking at the camera at, say, $450 to be on average, $150 front-facing screen, $100 for an external battery. Now we're looking at the $700, $800 price point to get this thing moduled out. That's a lot of money for an action camera. And I know inflation's killing me and I need to make more money to survive nowadays. but I don't know if I'm willing to drop $700 or $800 to get an action camera set. I do think when I see modular designs, I think companies tend to take advantage of their customers through this because it gives them more income sources by forcing them to buy other accessories and things. Apple does this all the time by like changing chargers. Drives me crazy. Changing ports on things. So now I got to change all my dongles and all my accessories. My blood pressure's rising. I got a salty attitude today. I need to calm down. DJI, I love what you're doing. I'm really excited for the Osmo Action 2. I hope it delivers on all things, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. What do you guys think of this design? Are you excited for it? Do you think it's gonna be a good value, or do you think it's gonna be way too expensive for what they're bringing to the table? Have my hopes high. We shall see next week. Let me know what you guys think. If you like this video, hit me with a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.